Hey guys, welcome. In this video we are going to take a look again at a simple class, and this time we will also add one behavior. Behavior in programming is implemented using methods or functions. So crank up Visual Studio and let's go here using system. Okay, so create some namespace. Here, my space. There you go. Like that. Open close braces, so they look like that. Alright, now within here we're going to again create a class, and it's good to do this several times until you can do it very quickly and well. Okay, so you're going to say here public class like that. Or if you want, you can even do it without the public. For our purposes, no big deal. That one will work well. Okay, so there you go. If you hit tab 2 times, you see it adds a little template for you. There you go. The class my class, and now we're going to add a constructor. So you're going to say public my class like that. Okay. Now here we want to change this. So we're going to say here calculator as before. Calculator. Okay, let's build the constructor for the calculator like that. Okay, and let's display some message. So right line and calc is being made. Close that with a semicolon. And now, once you have a calculator, the calculator should be able to perform basic actions like addition, subtraction, and so on. So we will go with just one of them for now. So type public dynamic. Okay, and we're going to use a dynamic keyword so that our calculator is smart enough to be able to work on different data types easily. Okay, so public dynamic. Dynamic is the return type. Public means that this code is accessible anywhere. Alright, so public dynamic, and the name of it will be add. This is our function, and then it's going to take 2 parameters. So dynamic, let's name them dynamic x and dynamic y, and close this with a semicolon. Within the body we're going to say return x plus y. Okay, there you go. So this is how you return code values from a function. Alright, and here now we have our class calculator. We're going to make use of it. So class use calc. Okay, and we're going to say, of course, static. We need an entry point into the program, so static void main. And remember now, void means it doesn't return anything. Main is the name of it, and static means it's a class level function or a class level method. You don't need an instance of the class to run it. Okay, there you go. That's why it's good for the entry point, right? Okay, and now we'll static void main, and we are going to do the following. You're going to type calculator like this. Okay, calc equals new calculator, and now you are going to say console. Let's do it this way actually. So dynamic x equals 5, and then dynamic y equals 5.67 for example, and now console.writeLine, and sum is placeholder, comma, and then you will say here calc dot, and notice now this is the dot notation in action. Specifically notice that calc dot, and then IntelliSense brings up a list of available functionality, available functions, and one of them is the add one that we created. So we are going to choose that one, and then you specify the arguments, so x comma y, and close out with a semicolon, you see? And then at the end let's do console.readKey for example. There you go. This is our basic structure here. Okay, we have a namespace, and remember this is all collapsible, so you collapse the namespace. That means everything else is within it, correct? Namespace is the outermost address, so to speak. Now you can collapse the calculator class, or you can collapse this class also, you see? You can collapse this function, and within here, let's see, you can collapse the constructor, you can collapse that function also, you see that? Okay, so these collapsible regions indicate the hierarchy of objects. There you go, so that looks like that. And here, let me expand all of this so it's visible. This is our structure. I'm using dynamic because this way I don't have to care whether it's, an integer, a double, decimal, doesn't matter. Alright, so here, debug and step into one time. Notice at first everything is null, right? The dynamic keyword in action. Alright. That's going to go there, make the calculator object. Come back down, right? Now notice that it's resolved the 5 to an integer type, and it resolves the other one to a double type. And then it's going to call calc.add, and it calls it successfully. And if you have your mouse here, as you can see, x is 5 and y is 5.67. Okay, so x and y are local variables within the body of add. There you go. There you go. And now we'll display it, and then wait for some input. And it says a calc is being made, and then the sum is 10.67. And you can unload that like that, okay? There you go. Now, what if we said here something like world, okay? That's a string, and let's change this also to a string. So let's see what kind of calculator we'll have now. It's got to do something, right? Remember, these are dynamically typed variables, so if you have your mouse over it, also see it says it represents an object whose operations will be resolved at runtime. I'll just go with debug and start without debugging here, just to see it happen more quickly. And it says the sum is hello world. That's it, you see? So it's still smart enough not to crash. We're using a powerful little thing called the dynamic keyword. Right, but of course, naturally, we're more likely to operate on numerical values, right? Especially since the name is calculator. And that is it for this one. Okay, so remember, a class, so far as we have constructed it, is a template. You can build a constructor for the class that runs when objects of the class are made. Okay? And now we have a behavior that the class can perform, which is we can accept two values and operate on them by producing the sum of the two values. Okay? So now we have a behavior. Behavior is implemented with functions or methods. And that is it. So thanks very much. Please be sure you can type this code and look around yourself right now, or take the examples from the previous lesson. Go back to each of them. You should have had 4 classes, and add 4 to each of those classes. Add 1 behavior. Okay? So think about that class and you ask yourself, what one thing can it do, and then implement it in code and run the code. Okay, this is how you expand your knowledge. So thanks very much, and I will see you in another video.